In times of crisis or instability, the appearance of wealth can quickly turn from a symbol of success to a dangerous liability. Many people don't realize how even small, visible signs of abundance can draw the wrong kind of attention. When supplies are scarce and desperation rises, a shiny car in the driveway, a new satellite dish, or even multiple delivery boxes stacked on the porch can send a loud and clear signal to anyone watching. This house has more than others. To someone struggling to feed their family or survive a collapse, your home could look like a jackpot. It doesn't take much. You might think your property is modest, but context changes everything. In a world where most homes are dark, your well-lit exterior becomes a beacon. Where neighbors are lining up for water, your backyard garden may appear excessive. If you're the only one still mowing your lawn, people notice. In peaceful times, these details might earn you admiration or indifference. But in a survival scenario, they become red flags. Consider the impact of an expensive vehicle in your driveway during an economic downturn. It may be paid off or even old, but to an outsider it screams wealth. Similarly, stacks of firewood neatly stored or a propane tank out back might indicate long-term preparedness to someone who wasn't prepared at all. Even your children casually mentioning that they always have snacks at home could be overheard and repeated. What makes this situation more dangerous is that most people who become targets don't even realize they've attracted attention until it's too late. Looters, especially organized ones, scout their surroundings. They take note of which homes might be worth the risk. Sometimes they come back during the night or even wait until no one is home. You don't need to be rich. You just need to look better off than your neighbors to become the next target. The key takeaway here is not to live in fear, but to live with awareness. In uncertain times, the best defense isn't just a locked door, it's a low profile, keeping your home modest, looking, storing valuable items out of sight, and not flaunting your preparedness can significantly lower your risk. Being invisible in plain sight is a skill worth mastering. In survival, it's not always the strongest who last. It's often the quietest. The ones who know how to blend in while staying prepared are the ones who make it through. Security systems are meant to make you feel safer, but ironically, they can also make you a target. When someone sees visible security cameras, high-end alarm signage, reinforced doors, or motion lights, it tells them something important. You have something worth protecting. To a looter or desperate individual, it's not a deterrent, it's an invitation. They may assume your home contains valuables like cash, food stockpiles, weapons, or technology. Even worse, it signals that you're more prepared than others, which makes you more valuable in times of scarcity. In a post-crisis scenario, people start thinking differently. Desperation leads them to prioritize homes that appear to offer the biggest rewards. While the average person might walk past a simple, rundown property, they'll stop and consider the one with layered defenses. They'll assume that where there's protection, there's treasure, and often they're right. Preppers and cautious homeowners naturally want to protect their investments, but making that protection visible can work against you. Let's consider motion-activated floodlights. In peaceful times, they help deter petty crime, but in a grid-down scenario where the streets are dark and silence is the norm, a sudden spotlight sweeping across your yard can draw attention from blocks away. It marks your home as different, active, and potentially valuable. Even if your intention was just to stay safe, you may have unknowingly painted a bullseye on your property. The same goes for visible security cameras or alarm signs. These features suggest technological preparedness, possibly including backup power, internet, or off-grid systems. That tells a looter that you're not just surviving, you're thriving. And if things are bad enough, that alone makes you a you target. Some looters specialize in circumventing such systems, and you've just told them where to start. There's also the issue of perceived arrogance. In chaotic times, people can resent those who appear to have more or be better off. Even if you've worked hard and built your security out of necessity, others may see it as showing off or hoarding. That resentment can grow into action, especially in a desperate neighborhood or a lawless situation. The smarter approach is to make your security invisible. Hidden cameras, silent alarms, unmarked reinforcement, and discreet barriers do the job without announcing themselves. A home that looks unremarkable is often the one that's left alone. Remember, true security isn't about showcasing strength. It's about blending strength with subtlety. When everyone else is on edge, staying unseen is the real safety. During a crisis, the simple act of showing lights, noise, or signs of activity can make your home an instant magnet for trouble. Think about it. When everything around you is silent and dark, any house that stands out becomes the center of attention. It's not about how luxurious your home is or how expensive your gear looks. It's about signaling that you have something others want. And when the world turns upside down, people will take desperate measures to get what they need. Light is one of the biggest giveaways. In a blackout or grid-down scenario, most homes will be cloaked in darkness. But if your house is glowing with solar-powered lights or backup generator power, it'll be visible for blocks. That doesn't say safe home, it screams resources here. People will assume you've got power, food, fuel, maybe even water and communication tools. To someone who's hungry or scared, that's an open invitation. Noise is another issue. Running a generator, it's not just the sound. It's the smell of fuel and the hum that carries through silent neighborhoods. Even voices, music, or dogs barking can betray your location. In normal life, it's no big deal, but during a societal breakdown, noise becomes a risk. The louder you are, the more attention you attract, especially from those roaming the streets looking for supplies. The signs of activity are also risky. A well-kept garden, smoke from a chimney, cooking smells, laundry on a line, or even movement behind windows can send a clear signal. People are here and they're doing okay. To outsiders, that makes you a better option than the abandoned homes next door. And if they're desperate enough, they won't knock politely. They'll come with force. This is why Gray Man principles apply not just to individuals but to your home as well. The goal is to blend in, not stand out. During chaos, invisibility becomes a shield. You want your home to look just like every other house on the block. Dark, quiet, uninteresting. That means using blackout curtains, limiting outdoor movement, avoiding bright lights or loud sounds, and camouflaging signs of activity. If you have solar lights or generator power, consider using it only when absolutely necessary and keep it as discreet as possible. The less you reveal, the less likely you are to become a target. Because in times of crisis, the homes that fade into the background are usually the ones that survive untouched. When it comes to protecting your home during a crisis, nothing puts a bigger target on your back than having visible stockpiles or obvious signs of preparedness. While prepping is a smart and responsible choice, advertising your supplies, intentionally or not, can quickly backfire when things go sideways. Human nature is simple. In a desperate moment, people will look for whoever seems most prepared, and if they see your stash, they'll assume you have more than enough to share or to take. One of the most overlooked dangers is visible food and water storage. This doesn't just mean having shelves lined with canned goods in plain view. It includes things like stacked water jugs near windows, bulk rice or flour bags visible in garages, or even frequent delivery boxes marked with emergency food brands. During normal times, these items might go unnoticed, but during shortages or chaos, neighbors and passers-by will start noticing everything and remembering it. Another big mistake is talking too much. Loose lips sink ships, especially in prepping. If your neighbors, friends, or even family members know about your gear, your medical supplies, or your backup power, that information spreads faster than wildfire when things go bad. People might come knocking just to ask, but when fear kicks in, they may not ask at all. Conversations today can lead to confrontations tomorrow. Even gear can give you away. Having solar panels, satellite dishes, rainwater catchment systems, or high-end security systems visible from the road are all red flags in a post-collapse environment. These might make sense in a well-functioning society, but in a breakdown they tell people, this house is different, it's prepared, and that's exactly what looters are looking for: houses that still have something worth stealing. What's the solution? Concealment. Store supplies in areas that are not easily seen, especially from windows, doors, or garages that might be opened in view of others. If you must store large amounts, do it creatively, under beds, inside furniture, or behind false walls or closets. For external equipment, consider ways to blend it with the environment or obscure it from view with fencing, bushes, or covers that don't draw attention. Ultimately, your goal is to make your home appear average and uninteresting from the outside. Don't invite curiosity, because once someone believes you have more than they do, your home stops being a shelter and becomes a target. Prepping is smart, advertising it is not. Another major factor that can make your home a target in times of crisis is inconsistent lighting and sound. In a grid-down situation, neighborhoods are typically cloaked in darkness and silence. The hum of electronics, the flicker of light through windows, or even a running generator can act like a beacon, drawing attention straight to your location. While these things may seem like comforts or even necessities, they quickly reveal to others that your home still has power, fuel, or other valuable resources, things they may desperately want or need. It's important to understand that most people won't be looking to cause harm at first. They'll just be looking for help, for warmth, for food, or for a sense of safety. But as desperation grows, especially after several days without power, food, or water, people's behavior can change dramatically. That soft glow from your window or the faint sound of a TV or radio could be all it takes for someone to decide your house is worth watching or breaking into. Generators are one of the biggest giveaways. The sound of a gas or diesel generator carries for blocks, especially at night when the world is otherwise quiet. If your neighbors hear it, so will others. That noise tells people you're not just surviving, you're thriving. Even solar power, while silent, can be a visible giveaway during the day if the panels are mounted prominently and neighbors notice your lights still work when theirs don't. And then there's cooking. The smell of hot food in a starving neighborhood is one of the most dangerous things during a crisis. If others are eating cold beans or nothing at all, the aroma of cooked meat, fresh bread, or boiling soup drifting from your house can turn you from neighbor to target almost instantly. The best approach is to minimize sensory signals. Use blackout curtains to contain any interior light, and don't rely on large outdoor security lights that may switch on and off and draw attention. For power, use battery-operated devices or solar units inside your home without exterior signs. And when cooking, try to do it during the day when smells are less noticeable and everyone is more distracted. Use low-odor foods and cook in enclosed areas if possible, staying quiet, dark, and low. Profile is not just about being private, it's about survival. The more invisible your comfort is, the safer you are. In crisis times, visibility is vulnerability. One of the most overlooked but dangerous ways you can make your home a target is through social media and casual conversations. In today's hyper-connected world, people often share everything online: what they bought, how much they've prepped, what gear they have, even pictures of their stockpiles. But when a crisis hits, All those posts become breadcrumbs that lead straight to your door. During normal times, showing off your emergency food supply, your solar panels, or your off-grid water system might seem like a way to inspire others or build community. But in an actual emergency, people remember those posts. Maybe it was a neighbor, a coworker, or even a casual acquaintance who saw your video or photo of 50 cans of soup stacked neatly in your garage. Maybe they liked your Facebook post where you mentioned buying another 200 rounds of ammo. In desperate times, those little tidbits can turn you into a target because others now associate you with abundance. It doesn't even have to be online. Bragging or casually mentioning your preparedness in conversations at work, at church, or with extended family can be just as dangerous. You may trust someone now, but in a long-term crisis, trust evaporates quickly when hunger and fear set in. People might not intend to betray you, but word spreads, and the person they tell might not have the same respect for your privacy. Children can also unintentionally make you a target. If they talk to their friends about how you have lots of food, a generator, or special gear, that information can ripple through a neighborhood fast. It's not about blaming the kids. It's about making sure everyone in your home understands the importance of keeping quiet about what you have. The best policy is what many preppers call OPSEC, operational security. That means you don't post photos of your preps, don't show your gear, don't announce your plans, and don't tell people where you keep things. You train your household to stay silent, not out of paranoia, but out of wisdom. You want to be the last person anyone thinks of when they get desperate. Discretion is your shield. In a permanent or prolonged crisis, the biggest threat may not be the disaster itself, but the people who remember what you told them before it began. Silence, secrecy, and staying under the radar may be the only things that keep you safe when others are watching, listening, and looking for a way to survive.